Hello everyone, my name is Leo, and if you follow our community you know that we have done several videos about latency. For instance, one video comparing 23 amp models, one video dedicated to the Camper player, another one dedicated to the Nano Cortex, etc. This video is fully focused on the Darkglass ANAGRAM latency management. Let's start! First of all, if you want more info about latency and how I have measured it, you can check out my 23 amp modeling pedalboard latency comparison video, following the link in the card above. With this out of the way, let's jump straight to the results. With an empty chain, I mean no amp or cab or effect blocks in the chain, we have 3 milliseconds of latency. Then, if we add a profile block, the latency increases a bit at around 3.0–3.1 milliseconds. And please notice that I'm using a profile done with the best architecture the NAM has available now, trained at 1000 epochs. Is a profile of mine that you can check out in the card above or description below. If we then add another profile of a distortion pedal, the latency once again increases a tiny bit at 3.1–3.2 milliseconds. And here I have used the profile of a distortion pedal already included in the anagram, therefore not done by myself. Furthermore, if we add a delay or a reverb or both together, the latency does not change, as expected. If we split the signal in two parallel rows and then we add another profile in the lower row, thus having three profiles in the chain, two in series and one in parallel, the latency stays at around 3.2–3.3 milliseconds. If we, on the other hand, we use the effect loop, jumpering with the cable the sender return, as expected, the latency increases at 6 milliseconds, obviously, as the unit has to perform another ADA conversion trip. So summarizing, I think we have good news and so-and-so news. The so-and-so news is that the latency is fine, but not on pair with other units like the NAM player or Boss or NUX units, which are all at around 1 millisecond of latency. Even if, don't get me wrong, 3 milliseconds is still a decent value. The good news is that even with 3 NAM players all together and with 2 of them in parallel, we have 3.1–3.2 milliseconds of latency. And this is pretty remarkable considering that native NAM profiles, I mean profiles not converted, are pretty DSP intensive. Here I would like to point out 2 things. The first one is that I'm using the first iteration of the firmware, the version 1.1, and of course things may change with future firmware upgrades. The second is that the anagram, in terms of NAM loader, is using Mike Oliphant NAM engine. Darkglass told me that Mike Oliphant has developed a tweaked version of the NAM engine that runs faster than the original version, and therefore I guess it is also less taxing in terms of DSP power consumption. So that's all for this video, thank you so much for watching and see you soon. Bye bye.